In the next 20 minutes, we're going to build a sales funnel. A very simple one, but nevertheless a functioning sales funnel. And I'm going to show you the steps that you can easily replicate yourself. Let's get started. I'm going to take my good old trusted WordPress, use Thrive Themes theme builder, send all the transactions to ThriveCart, and power this all with ChatGPT. Let's get into the details. First of all, let's create a new page. The reason I'm using Thrive Themes instead of other web page builders such as Elementor is because these guys have spent all of their time and all of their resources on developing something that generates conversions. It's all about making digital presence easy, sales convenient, and feedback immediate. They created themes for any imagination. And not only that, they actually structured those pages. So for people like myself, who is not really very good at imagining how things should look, they basically create something that you can take and fill in the blanks. They give you sections of the web page that should be there if you're selling a book or you're providing a chiropractic service or anything in between. So you just take a template, it comes up, and they even tell you what each section should have. You have a place for team. In fact, there are so many different sections that you can choose from in a way to present your brand, your service on the web. So once you've created your page, you can add different elements to it depending on what you're selling. I always go for simplicity, but some people like to be over the top. But again, you see this is all towards that one singular goal, conversions. Let's take my homepage. This is step number one. This is where people will land on when they come in from YouTube. I can see how it looks on desktop, on a tablet, and most importantly on the phone. Your website has to look great on a cell phone nowadays. It's what's called a responsive template. And I don't have to worry about it because it's all pre-built. Now I need a page where people will be sent to after that first interaction with the homepage. Remember SEO, your keyword has to be in the title of the page. Make sure you remember that. So I'm going to call this page Online Business Services. Other people struggle with how do you begin. So I'm going to begin with a button. I'm going to make sure that I give plenty of opportunities for people to schedule that conversation with me. And this button is going to repeat itself. After that, I'm going to tackle one very important question. What do you say to a person when you meet them for the first time if they're offering you consultation on small businesses? Great. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help me create the 10 reasons why people would pick up a call with me. So I have already pre-built some of these prompts, and this is the first one. I want to be very clear. Create a 10-point list for a website sales page of challenges most commonly faced by small business owners and entrepreneurs over the age of 40. That will encourage high open rates and engagement. This is only the beginning. I then provide context. What is my target audience? What is my web page focus? What are my formatting guidelines? What tone would I want to use? The more specific you are, the better results are going to be. And here we go. ChatGPT, that's the beauty of it. It can create content for us to use. Always check what it created. Always add your own tone. Always add your expertise and knowledge. I'm just going to copy and paste so that we can finish that page. This video is going to be around 20 minutes. All in all, without any speed ups, it took me about an hour to do all of this from front to end. I'm going to be a bit fancy. I'm just going to take all of those 10 points that ChatGPT generated, paste them right into this page. I want to ask the question that I just told you. I want to tell people this is what they're looking at. So what do people like to tackle in one-on-one call? This gives people an idea of, okay, you know what? I'm going to call this guy. I'm going to ask him about this. I'm going to ask him about legacy building. Now, I want to give a very clear perspective as to why my services are so good. And the next prompt is going to be, act as a professional copywriter focused on online sales funnels. Write a sales page copy using the strong weak framework to persuade my target audience from above to take action. Use strong language, images to emphasize the benefits of our consulting services, blah, blah, blah. You can pause the video and take note of this quote. You see that none of my quotes are one-liners. I'm trying to provide as much context for the model to generate the response that I can use immediately or with least amount of interference. A lot of these statements are fine-tuned for people to react to. Now, I'm going to add a couple of more items, specifically using short sentences, being more impactful. And there we go. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of emojis, and you know what? I'm going to correct that right now because I like what is generated, but I think it's weak. It's only a sentence or two, so that is good. Elaborate on each point. Create an example for each point. Do not use emojis. Okay, here we go. And now it's recreating the same thing, but you can see each point has a little bit more text. This is right about enough. You don't want too much text on the sales page. But I forgot another thing. I wanted to use first person voice. Okay, this looks promising, and I like the fact that it added those point 1 to point 10. I'm going to use this as the features of what services I can deliver. And you'll see that most of them are positioned not as functions, but rather results. Again, they have the right thing for each situation. Bingo, this is the one. This is a perfect template for this purpose. I just remembered, I forgot one thing to ask of ChatGPT. I forgot to ask it to make sure it optimizes my content for my keywords. So I'm just going to make a change in my heading here, make sure I include online business, and now I'm going to use the content above. That's why I'm saying the above is excellent. The model now knows that what it generated passed the test. And now I'm going to ask it to optimize for a couple of keywords that I'm going to give it. So online business is going to be one. Solo entrepreneur beats out solopreneur. So I'm going to give it as number 2. And the third one, perhaps the last one, is going to be small business online. And it gives me the content that I need. The next is just technically copy paste. You see how the templates that Thrive Themes have, which serve each one of your purposes, provide you ideas and points where you just input text. I'm not going to go with all 10 points in the picture text format. I'm just going to list the next points down below. Now I'm going to create a couple of more buttons. Again, when you have a lot of text, make sure that your people are able to buy it. Next thing I need my pricing table. So I'm going to say that I'm going to be selling a consulting package. One is an introduction for perhaps 30 minutes where I can just see if the person likes me, if I like the person, if we can work together, and that's going to be absolutely free. And the next one is going to be an hour call with a 30-minute follow-up in 2 weeks. I like these pricing tables. You see how easy they're structured? Once they click those buttons, choose this plan, they need to land somewhere. And this is a very important step. So the free one is just going to set up a call with me, but then when somebody goes to choose the plan that costs $150, they need to make a purchase. There are multiple different ways of how you can solve it, but that's that third piece of our diagram. I'm going to be using ThriveCart. I've been a faithful user of ThriveCart because they're so flexible for digital purposes. You create a product, you give your product a name, it automatically creates a link, you set your price in the currency that you want. If you can give it a trial period, you can have it a split pay. It is very flexible. I'm going to make sure that the software calculates the taxes. We're not going to have any bumps or upsells or downsells. In this particular case, I'm going to select Stripe as my processor, but you can also use PayPal. Now, I was thinking of setting up an affiliate channel so that if any of you decide to recommend somebody to buy that service from me, you can get, let's say, a 25% commission. But then I figured, you know what, that's going to make the video too long. Once they're done, I'm going to create a checkout page. It's very easy to do with ThriveCart. ThriveCart is a very versatile tool. It can handle, like I said, affiliates, contracts, partnerships, selling of product, deliveries. It's highly embeddable with most commonly used tools of the trade. and it embeds really well into your website. So I highly recommend it. Okay, our final page is complete. I'm not going to talk about what happens after the purchase, because after the purchase we need to collect email information, send it to our autoresponder, and make sure that people get in the habit of hearing from us. We're not going to touch it right now. This is a topic for another time. But once it's done, I have a link. Now I can attach this button underneath the $150 mark to the product that we've just created in ThriveCart. And once people click on this button, they'll be taken immediately to the checkout. Once they complete the checkout, they will be sent to this link. And this is Setmore. It's almost like Calendly. What I love about this is if you're just a solopreneur, their services are free for one person for very limited set of features, but those are the features that you actually need. So let's grab a link from ThriveCart, which will guide them through the purchase, checkout, thank you page, and will give them the link to sign up for my services. I'm going to create a menu item so that people can find my services page from my homepage. And once that's done, we are coming essentially to the end of our journey. We have a homepage which talks about how wonderful my services are. We have a My Services page, which immediately convinces people that they need to talk to me, and these are the things to talk to me about. They can pick and choose which way they want to connect, and if they decide to buy, they put in their details, click the button to complete an order, and everything else from there is automated. Last step that's left for us to do is set up the Bing ads that we wanted to create in order to drive traffic right to that landing page. So we're going to call this campaign Biz Mastery Navigator, small budget of $10, serving up to all English-speaking countries. This is where people are going to land if they click on the ad, small business services, adding an ad group name and putting in my keywords. I'm putting them in quotation marks so they're not an exact match. Next, I'm going to create my ad, again, my landing page, and I'm going to turn back to ChatGPT and ask it to act as a digital advertising expert to create 5 headlines for Bing ads. Headlines cannot exceed 30 characters, so that's what I'm going to do. If the first try doesn't work, give it another shot. After the headlines, I'm going to create descriptions. Those are 90 characters in length, and I'm going to copy and paste them into Bing ads. After that is done, and after Bing had a chance to scan my website, I'm going to add some more suggestions that it provides. That's it. What's left is tinker with a bit of settings. Tinker with settings, set the campaign end date for about a month, click OK, and that's it. We're ready to go. That's it. In an hour, I've been able to go from what I drew up on the page to something that's now live, and you can go check it out. People can learn about me. People can schedule an introduction with me. People can pay me $150 and buy my services. If you have any questions, if you need additional details, if you want to talk about the tools that I mentioned, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to respond. And you know what? If you want to have a chat with me, you know where to find me. solobusiness.ca. Till next time. Bye.